This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.
In the headlines, first British Prime Minister Keir Starmer has announced his resignation outside 10 Downing Street following heavy political pressure and major local election losses. The development has forced the immediate postponement of a key UK-EU summit. Meanwhile, Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bakr Ghalibaf declared that Tehran will reject any diplomatic settlement that undermines Lebanon's sovereignty. Ghalibaf insisted that Iran's negotiating position remains tied to its regional security objectives. In the Persian Gulf, commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz is gradually stabilizing after a tense maritime standoff. Shipping companies continue to navigate mixed signals from Tehran as the interim diplomatic agreement takes effect. In Canada, Montreal police confirmed that a veteran officer and a civilian were killed in a deadly gun battle. Authorities say a heavily armed suspect opened fire from a hotel window in the Côte-de-Neige district. Back home, a classroom shooting at San Jose National High School in Tacloban City has left 3 students dead and 7 others injured. Police have taken 2 15-year-old suspects into custody and recovered 2 firearms. And in health news, South Africa has begun rolling out a twice-yearly preventive HIV injection. Health officials described the program as a major advance in the country's effort to reduce new infection and improve public health outcomes. I am Paul Montemon. Newsline World starts now. United Kingdom's Sir Keir Starmer has resigned as Prime Minister and as leader of the Labour Party. He confirmed that he will remain in post until a leadership contest concludes before Parliament returns in September. Daniela Paulita reports.
Protesters played the European Union anthem Ode to Joy on loudspeakers from the gates of Downing Street as Keir Starmer announced that he will resign from his position and will step down as Labour Party leader. Starmer said he already informed King Charles III of his decision.
The question my party is asking now is whether I am best placed to lead us into the next general election. I have heard the answer of my parliamentary party to that question, and I accept that answer with good grace. That is why I will resign as leader of the Labour Party. I have spoken to His Majesty the King this morning to inform him of my decision.
Starmer announced that nominations will open on July 9, with the process completed by the summer recess to ensure a new leader is in place before September. The departure marks the United Kingdom's 7th Prime Minister in a decade, coming just under 2 years after Starmer won office. Starmer's short term in office was marked by successive government's U-turns, a 2-tier policing row following the murder of Henry Nowak, immigration protest after an attempted beheading in Belfast, and a controversy surrounding his former U.S. ambassador's links to Jeffrey Epstein. During his speech, Starmer's voice broke as he became emotional while praising his family.
And when I leave the biggest job in the country, I shall spend more time on the most important job, being the best husband I can to my fantastic wife Vic who has been a rock by my side through good times and bad, and being the best dad I can to my beautiful children.
The resignation follows mounting internal political pressure and a direct challenge from within his own party ranks. Last week, Greater Manchester Mayor and leadership rival Andy Burnham won a decisive by-election victory to return to Parliament. The exit also follows public criticism from abroad, including a social media post by U.S. President Donald Trump. Trump also said Starmer had failed badly on immigration and energy, writing, "I wish him well."
The UK has a much better portion of the North Sea. They don't want to do it for environmental purposes, okay? And I told him he's a very nice man. I mean, sort of a friend of mine. I mean, he was not good to us with NATO, Pete, right? He said we can't use the island to land. That was the first. For a couple of weeks, he said, well, but ultimately I gave it to you now. That was a bad move. That hurt him badly. But I mean, I wish him well.
Reporting for Newsline World, Daniela Paulita, SMNI News.
Shock waves in international politics today following the sudden resignation of British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. The political fallout is already hitting the global stage, forcing the postponement of a major UK-EU summit. Kai Villan has the details.
In Brussels, European Commission officials praised the outgoing Prime Minister, specifically highlighting his support for Ukraine and European defense through the coalition of the willing. Despite the sudden leadership vacuum in London, the EU insisted the ties with the UK remain rock solid.
The President wanted to acknowledge the contribution of the UK and of the Prime Minister himself to make Europe and Ukrainian security stronger, notably through all his efforts in the coalition of the willing, through the efforts he's put in strengthening Europe's defence. And our relations with UK are and will remain strong.
But behind the warm words, the immediate political impact is clear. European Council President Antonio Costa confirmed a highly anticipated UK-EU summit has been officially postponed. Domestically, Starmer's exit follows months of intense pressure. His leadership was badly weakened by a decisive by-election victory by Greater Manchester Mayor Andy Burnham, who is now widely seen as a top contender to replace him. Starmer's short time in office was plagued by policy U-turns, intense anger over immigration, and high-profile policing controversies. Even former U.S. President Donald Trump weighed in on social media, claiming Starmer failed badly on immigration and energy. To recall, Starmer says he will remain in office until a successor is chosen to ensure an orderly transition. Nominations for the next Labour leader are expected to open in July, with a new Prime Minister in place before Parliament returns this September. Reporting for Newsline World, Kai Villan, SMNA News.
Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf asserted that Tehran will comprehensively reject any diplomatic outcome that compromises Lebanon's sovereignty, framing Swiss mediation pathways as a strategic extension of military resistance. Jane Candida has the news.
The high-stakes implementation talks surrounding the Islamabad MOU have transformed into a fierce diplomatic battleground. Returning to Tehran following grueling tense diplomatic engagements in Bergenstock, Switzerland, Iranian Parliament Speaker and Chief Negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf aggressively pushed back against Western expectations. While acknowledging that the immediate military fire across the region has temporarily been extinguished, Ghalibaf maintains Iran will not abandon its geopolitical posturing until absolute guarantees for Lebanon's complete territorial integrity are structurally solidified.
هر موفقیت نظامی هر چقدر هم موفق باشد زمانی اون اثر موفقیت رو میتونیم ببینیم، یعنی آوردهای اون پیروزی رو میتونیم ببینیم، چه در حال چه در آینده و چه در تاریخ که میخوان قضاوت کنن که اون پیروزی از جهت حقوقی و سیاسی ثبت بشه، موندگار بشه. بدون دیپلماسی این زحمت عرصه میدان به ثمر نخواهد نشست.
The complex negotiations, mediated closely by Pakistan and Qatar, faced intense disruption over the weekend when U.S. President Donald Trump publicly threatened massive renewed strikes against Iranian strategic assets. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance publicly downplayed the brief operational suspensions, characterizing the tense back and forth as a mix of threats and whining. Both Washington and Tehran confirmed that technical teams achieved significant progress toward a 60-day roadmap.
اون آتش قطع شده، بخش عمده از مردم رفتن. انشالله با تصمیمی که اونجا گرفته شد مطمئنیم که انشالله با اقتدار این کار رو پیش میبریم و اون تمامیت ارضی لبنان رو و حاکمیت ملی لبنان رو بر تمامیت سرزمین خودش انشالله در این گفتگوها به نتیجه نهاییش خواهیم رسوند و تا به نتیجه نهایی نرسه راهاش هم نخواهیم کرد.
As the high-level committee is prepared to launch specialized working groups to manage the permanent reopening of the vital Strait of Hormuz maritime corridor, the diplomatic focus remains heavily deadlocked over active verification terms. The next phase of the Swiss-mediated technical tracking will determine whether the comprehensive deconfliction cell can successfully transition the volatile armistice into a lasting permanent regional settlement. This has been Jane Coniter, Global Citizen Correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
Regional commercial maritime transit slowly stabilized through the critical Strait of Hormuz following a tense standoff. Maritime operators navigating mixed warnings from the Tehran with the recently established interim diplomatic accord. Prince Tripoli has the updates.
Commercial shipping traffic is slowly returning to the Persian Gulf after days of intense security concerns. Marine tracking data shows several crude oil tankers successfully passing through the narrow checkpoint. While traffic is moving, it remains well below normal volumes. The fragile resumption follows the implementation of a 60-day interim memorandum of understanding between Washington and Tehran. Under the agreement, Iran has temporarily suspended maritime transit fees and allowed the free movement of commercial vessels in exchange for limited U.S. sanctions relief and access to selected foreign-held assets. Despite the breakthrough, markets remain on edge after the hardline elements within Iran's Revolutionary Guard threatened renewed restrictions amid continuing tensions linked to the conflict in Lebanon. The warnings triggered fresh concerns across global energy and shipping sectors. To prevent a military miscalculation, an emergency deconfliction channel has just been launched. Moderated by Qatari and Pakistani diplomats, the real-time hotline allows both American and Iranian forces to immediately share vessel positions and coordinate security. Maritime authorities say the continued flow of commercial traffic and the absence of major attacks on vessels indicate that diplomatic efforts remain intact for now, even as negotiations continued under close international scrutiny. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Prince Tripoli, SMNA News.
Up next, in Canada, Montreal police confirmed that a veteran officer and a civilian were killed in a deadly gun battle. Authorities say a heavily armed suspect opened fire from a hotel window in the Côte-des-Neiges district. And in the Philippines, a classroom shooting at San Jose National High School in Tacloban City has left 3 students dead and 7 others injured. Police have taken 2 15-year-old suspects into custody and recovered 2 firearms. More news when Newsline World returns.
Sa bawat araw, sa bawat sandali, kami ay SMNI. Ang aming uniforme ay hindi lamang tela. Ito'y sagisag ng aming paninindigan.
Ipinagmamalaki natin ang ating bansa at ang ating pagiging Pilipino.
Pinagsama ng nagkakaisang layunin, ating isinusulong ang revolusyon sa media.
Ang templong tahanan ng Diyos at ang sinag, ang instrumento ng katotohanan, at liwanag na nagmumula sa iisang may likha.
Pula, ang pag-ibig na nananalaytay sa ating mga ugat. Ang dugo ng bawat bayaning Pilipino na nagbuwis buhay para sa ilang bayan.
Itim, ang kapangyarihan ng bansa at soberanya na tanging sa mamamayan lamang.
Ang bawat Pilipinong handang ipagtanggol ang kalayaan at katarungan.
Puti, ang kapayapaan at pag-asa. Taglay ang katapatan sa lupang sinilangan.
Kami, ang SMNI. Salamat sa inyong walang sawang pagtitiwala at pagpanig sa katotohanan.
Outgoing Colombian President Gustavo Petro issued a dire warning from Panama, comparing the maximum polarization in Colombia, Venezuela, and Peru to a regional powder KEG capable of triggering an open disaster if elections deepen sectarian fractions. This report from Carlo de la Peña.
Colombia's razor-thin presidential runoff is reverberating beyond its borders. Outgoing President Gustavo Petro warned that growing political divisions across the Andean region risk fueling broader instability.
Hoy por hoy, Perú, Colombia, Venezuela están en una polarización máxima, una posibilidad de estallido, de la desestabilización del corazón del mundo. Y la gran responsabilidad que tiene el progresismo en Venezuela, en Colombia, en Perú y en toda la vieja Gran Colombia también es garantizar la paz. Y está en cuestión, este es el momento.
His remarks come a day after a fiercely contested runoff election in which preliminary results showed opposition candidate Abelardo de la Espriella holding a lead of less than 1 percentage point over progressive contender Ivan Cepeda. The Colombian leader argued that deeply divided societies cannot rely on narrow electoral victories alone to secure lasting stability. He urged political forces across the region to prioritize dialogue and peace over partisan confrontation. The warning comes as election authorities move toward final certification of the results and as political groups on both sides prepare for possible legal and public challenges. With tensions remaining high, Petro called for restraint to prevent the country's political divisions from escalating into a broader regional crisis. Reporting for Newsline World, this has been Carlo de la Peña, SMNI News.
Montreal police confirmed the death of a passionate veteran officer alongside a civilian in an intense street-level gunfight triggered by a heavily armed suspect firing a long gun from a Côte d'Ivoire hotel window. Verhil Parba outlines the tragedy.
One of Canada's most historic municipalities is in deep mourning following a catastrophic midday mass casualty encounter. It was 11:35 Monday morning when 911 calls started flooding in. Witnesses spotted the long barrel of a rifle sticking out of an upper-story window at the Hilton Hotel in Dickory Boulevard. Officers rushed to the scene but were instantly pinned down by a hail of bullets raining from above. A rapid, terrifying firefight erupted right on the street, forcing police to completely shut down nearby highways.
Appel logé au 911 vers 11h35 au 911 au 6939 Dickory à l'hôtel Hilton par un citoyen ayant vu un canon sortir d'une fenêtre et entendu des coups de feu. policiers répondent à l'appel, arrivent et se font tirer dessus. Échange de coups de feu à l'extérieur au niveau de la rue. Un suspect neutralisé et décédé. Un citoyen décédé.
The fallen officer has been identified as 34-year-old Mohamed Lamine Ben Radwan. He is the first Montreal officer killed in the line of duty since 2002.
Aujourd'hui, un des nôtres est tombé afin d'accomplir sa mission, protéger et servir. Exactement le signe que j'ai sur moi. J'avais rencontré ce policier à quelques reprises. Un agent d'une efficacité remarquable, un agent habité par sa mission. Mes pensées vont à sa famille et sa famille élargie, tous les policiers et policières du SPVM et tous les policiers et policières de la province du Québec.
A female officer was also shot in the chest. She remains in critical but stable condition. Tactical teams eventually shot and killed the gunman outside on the pavement, but the tragedy didn't stop there. Police also found the body of an unidentified civilian caught in the crossfire. Inside the suspect's hotel room, investigators uncovered a multi-page anti-establishment manifesto. While the proximity of the mass shooting to multiple prominent kosher restaurants and supermarkets sparked immediate initial community concerns over a potential targeted hate crime, federal domestic security ministers have downplayed terrorism ties. The comprehensive, highly sensitive tracking of the tactical response and potential systematic failures has been officially turned over to Quebec's independent police watchdog, the BEI, as specialized forensic divisions continue to systematically sweep the upper levels of the hotel complex. This has been Verhil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
The Philippine military has dealt a major blow to the New People's Army in Bukidnon following consecutive encounters that left a high-ranking rebel leader and a member dead. Almar Porzuelo files this report.
A top commander of the New People's Army and his companion are dead following back-to-back encounters with government troops in Sitio Tagiptip, Barangay Iba, Cabanglasan, and Sitio Nalumusan, Barangay Silae, Malaybalay City, Bukidnon on Sunday, June 21st.
The 4th Infantry Division of the Philippine Army stated that the operations are part of an intensified campaign to dismantle the remaining leadership of the communist terrorist group's North Central Mindanao Regional Committee. The first clash erupted early Sunday morning when the 1st Special Forces Battalion intercepted fleeing rebels, resulting in the death of NPA member Edward Pantandon, alias Wando, and the recovery of an M16 rifle. Later that night, at around 11:35, troops from the 8th Infantry Battalion engaged the same rebel group. That second firefight killed Romeo Manpinsahan alias Kakoy. Military records identify alias Kakoy as the commanding officer of the Headquarters Force NEO under the Regional Rebel Committee. Beside the bodies, troops recovered 2 more high-powered firearms, magazines, and live ammunition, and a backpack. Brigadier General Siegfried Tubalado, commander of the 43rd Brigade, stressed that the successful operation proves the communist rebel group's operational capabilities are continuously degrading. Major General Marion Angkao added that the military aims to replicate its peace milestones in the Caraga region by strengthening collaborations with local government units and stakeholders to permanently clear northern Mindanao of insurgent threats. Reporter for Newsline World, for God of my beloved Philippines, Almar Porzuelo, SMNI News.
A horrific tragedy in Leyte after a shooting inside a high school leaves 3 students dead and several others wounded. The incident unfolded Monday morning at San Jose National High School in Tacloban City. Police have already arrested 2 suspects who are both minors. Verhil Parba tells us more.
The shooting occurred around 9 a.m. inside the campus premises of San Jose National High School in Tacloban City on Monday, June 22nd. Personnel from Police Station 1 immediately responded to the scene. 3 teenage students tragically lost their lives. According to the Police Regional Office 8, the number of wounded has risen to 20, with 15 suffering gunshot wounds and 5 others injured during the ensuing panic and stampede. Meanwhile, authorities arrested the 2 shooters who are both minors. Because both are under the age of 18, they are legally classified as children in conflict with the law or CICL. The suspects aged 14 and 15 are both grade 9 students and residents of San Jose, Tacloban City. While the initial response has concluded, authorities are continuing their deep dive investigation into the suspects' backgrounds, the specific motives behind the bullying grudge, and how the minors managed to secure the firearms. On the other hand, PNP Chief Police General Jose Melencio Sr. Tates Jr. has ordered a thorough investigation to determine the full circumstances and the motives behind the incident. Police Regional Office 8 is already coordinating with the proper agencies and stakeholders to provide medical and psychological intervention for the affected students and teachers. Meanwhile, the Department of Education or DepEd considers the incident a high alert situation, prompting the immediate dispatch of officials from the central, regional, and division offices to coordinate with the school administration and authorities. The PNP and DepEd vow to review and tighten campus security protocols nationwide to prevent similar tragedies. This has been Verhil Parba, your Global Citizen correspondent, reporting for Newsline World.
When we return, and in health news, South Africa has begun rolling out a twice-yearly preventive HIV injection. Health officials described the program as a major advance in the country's effort to reduce new infections and improve public health outcomes. Newsline World will be back after the break. South Africa has officially launched the rollout of a game-changing preventive injection given just twice a year. With an estimated 8 million citizens living with HIV, health officials call it a massive milestone. Carla Abellana has the details on this medical breakthrough.
The historic rollout of lenacapavir kicked off Monday at the Dr. Abdurrahman Community Day Center in Cape Town. Research shows the biannual injection is highly effective at preventing HIV transmission. Before receiving the shot, patients must test negative and undergo counseling because supplies are still limited. Medical officials are prioritizing high-risk groups, including young people and pregnant women. The program is starting at 22 clinics in the Western Cape, with plans to expand to 360 public health facilities across 6 provinces. While the launch is being widely celebrated, humanitarian groups are urging caution. Doctors Without Borders warns that the drug's high price tag and limited initial supplies could stall its widespread impact, calling for affordable global pricing. Despite those hurdles, the South African government has ambitious targets. They estimate the injection could reach nearly 1 million people by the end of next year and up to 3 million people within 3 years. Reporting for Newsline World, Carla Abellana, SMNI News.
Big-time Filipino and film artists are joining forces for the official soundtrack of DreamWorks' newest animated movie, Forgotten Island. It's a major spotlight for P-pop, legendary local voices, and traditional instruments on the global stage. Meanwhile, Disney and Pixar's Toy Story 5 has completely crushed the box office, scoring the biggest opening weekend of 2026. Faith Agustin for the updates.
The upcoming DreamWorks film Forgotten Island is bringing a heavy dose of Filipino culture to the world. Philippines nation's girl group BINI leads the charge with an original song entitled A Parallel World. Joining them is Cat's Eye's Sofia La Forteza, who breathes new life into the in-excess classic Never Tear Us Apart. Film and Grammy winner Her, who also voices the main character Joe, teams up with Liza Zambrano for the title track BRB. Meanwhile, the powerhouse lineup doesn't stop there. Musical theater legend Lea Salonga lends her iconic vocals to the film's score, while P-Pop Kings SB19 cover Francis Magalona's Mga Kababayan. Ruby Ibarra and Carl Angelo are also featured on the track list. According to Universal Pictures Senior VP of Film Music Angela Lius, the soundtrack blends 80s and 90s pop and hip-hop with indigenous Philippine instruments, including the historic Las Piñas bamboo pipe organ. The star-studded voice cast also features Manny Jacinto, Joe Coy, and Dolly De Leon. Forgotten Island hits Philippine theaters this September 23rd. Meanwhile, the toys are back and bigger than ever. Pixar's Toy Story 5 just brought in an astonishing $160 million in North America for its debut weekend. Industry analyst David A. Gross report that this massive opening marks a 37% increase over Toy Story 4. The animated sequel is now projected to secure the title of the second biggest animated film opening of all time, right behind Incredibles 2. The nostalgic return features the familiar voices of veteran actors Tom Hanks, Tim Allen, and Joan Gazak. The animated giant completely dominated its competition. Disclosure Day brought in $17 million this weekend, bringing its two-week total to $78.2 million. Indie horror hit Obsession sits at over $215 million in its sixth week, while Backrooms holds steady at $175 million in week 4. Rounding out the top 10 are Masters of the Universe, The Mandalorian and Grogu, and new entries Leviticus, The Death of Robin Hood, and the biopic Michael. This has been Faye Agustin, your Global Citizen correspondent, bringing you the latest show buzz.
In sports, Lionel Messi added another historic achievement to his legendary career, becoming the all-time leading goal scorer in men's FIFA World Cup history. Meanwhile, Atlanta strengthened its backcourt and wing depth ahead of the NBA draft, acquiring Aaron Wiggins from Oklahoma City, while also agreeing to a new deal with CJ McCollum. Carlo De La Pena tells us more.
Lionel Messi broke the long-standing World Cup scoring record after netting his 17th and 18th tournament goals in Argentina's 2-0 victory over Austria. The Argentine captain surpassed the previous mark of 16 goals set by Miroslav Klose and extended his record for the most appearances in the men's World Cup history with his 28th match. Messi had an early opportunity to break the record from the penalty spot but missed his attempt in the 9th minute. He later found a breakthrough in the 38th minute, calmly finishing from the edge of the box to move past Klose. The 38-year-old then added another goal in the second half, converting a rebound after his initial effort was blocked to seal the win and bring his tournament tally to 5 goals. Already a World Cup champion, Olympic gold medalist, and 8-time Ballon d'Or winner, Messi added yet another milestone by becoming the first male player to score 18 goals at the World Cup. Messi's latest feat further cements his place among football's all-time greats, setting a new benchmark on the sport's biggest stage while continuing Argentina's World Cup campaign. Meanwhile, the Atlanta Hawks reached an agreement to acquire Aaron Wiggins from the Oklahoma City Thunder. In exchange for second-round draft picks in 2030 and 2032, Wiggins arrives in Atlanta after spending 5 seasons with Oklahoma City, helping the Thunder capture the 2025 NBA championship. The 27-year-old averaged 9.4 points and 3.1 rebounds last season while making 21 starts. The Hawks also secured veteran guard CJ McCollum with a 1-year $21 contract extension. McCollum joined Atlanta in January and quickly became a key contributor, averaging 18.7 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 4.1 assists in 41 regular season games. His leadership helped the Hawks push the eventual champion New York Knicks in the playoffs. Atlanta enters the NBA draft with 2 first-round selections, including picks number 8 and number 23, and hopes the additions of Wiggins and McCollum will bolster the roster heading into next season. With the draft approaching, the Hawks continue to reshape their roster, adding experience, depth, and versatility as they look to strengthen their position in the Eastern Conference. This is Almar Forzuelo bringing you the latest sports news.
And before we end, may you be inspired with the words of the sun. In everything you want to do, if you are committed, if you are consistent, you will succeed. And that's all for this edition of Newsline World. For God and my beloved country, the Philippines, I am Paul Montimon. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
This is SMNI News Channel. Truth that matters.